everybody. Welcome to Inspiring Adventures.
And I am here to welcome you and introduce you to Inspiring Adventures here on BubblrMedia. Tonight's guests, Melissa is welcoming Laura Filipiwicz and Carolyn West. And here she is now.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Melissa Reyes, Ms. Meliz, and I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. And we are going to be talking about ConnectHer, which is a conference that's coming up in August, and it's brought to you by Laura Filipiwicz and Carolyn West, two of my good friends. And I had the pleasure of being an attendee and a round table discussion leader the last few years at ConnectHer. And this year I'm going to be on a panel. So I'm happy to introduce you to Laura. I'm going to ask her to speak first, and then Carolyn. Hi, Laura.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am the CEO and founder of the ConnectHer Media Conference. We've been around for almost 10 years, and the conference has been around. This will be our 6th annual event. So I, pretty much put together this event to bring together brands, influencers, and women in business together, all under one roof and with a lot of fun and interactive activities. So that's kind of what I do.
And so how did it get started to begin with? It was I remember it being a boutique, really small conference, and you had to be invited. I was so excited the first time I was invited to attend.
Yeah, it started really after I had my daughter, who was 2 at the time, and she's 12 now. So it's been a while. And basically, I found myself after 2 years of having given up my corporate job that I couldn't just stay home and do nothing. So then what I did is I kind of started these small little events for other moms who were kind of in the same situation. And then eventually that grew into a larger group, and then it was big enough to hold a conference, and it just kind of snowballed from there, but it wasn't a fully planned thing. It just kind of happened organically, and we've kept that sort of organic, authentic feel throughout the years, even though we have grown. So it is by invitation only. A certain percentage of our guests are invited, and we do open it up ticket sales for those that have never been and that we don't know exist. So then we, that way we can connect with them as well.
That's so cool. And Carolyn West, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and how did you get involved with ConnectHer?
Carolyn West. I met Laura a couple years ago at a conference, one of the ConnectHer conferences that I attended, and we just kind of got to know each other a little bit, and she knew that I had planned some other conferences before I was involved in that. I run SoCal Lady Bloggers, which is a Facebook networking group for women bloggers in Southern California. And so we knew a lot of the same people. We sort of traveled in the same circles, and we kind of connected and decided, and Laura asked me, do you want to go on this journey with me? Do you want to participate in ConnectHer and help me plan it? And of course I said yes, absolutely. And it's been great. So I've been with Laura for about 3 years now doing this. I handle a lot of the marketing aspects of it, and it's just been a lot of fun. So.
They're both so calm and oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but this is a huge business. I know how much work goes into it, and these aren't just little groups. Carolyn, I met Carolyn, it's been what, 4 or 5 years now?
Seems forever. I don't. It seems like I've
Maybe
known you for so long. So
maybe a little bit longer than that, but SoCal Lady Bloggers, when I joined, had about 150 people in it, and it's grown to about 1,000 people now, all Southern California lady bloggers, and it's really amazing to see how much it's grown, and she's really led this to a huge thing. And the same with Laura, having her Women in Business group and leading the way for women together. And it's really, they've both been an inspiration to me. And so I'm so proud to introduce you to Jennifer Sloan here, who is somebody who I'm working with now with BubblrMedia. And also behind the scenes, we have 4 other partners with BubblrMedia who have taken me under their wing, and who now we are starting our business, which is doing somewhat similar thing, but with live streaming, and where we're helping other people with their businesses too. So we're just so excited to be able to introduce, us to meet together and to come together in this way. So Jennifer, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Sloan. I am not a blogger, and I've been kind of living my life doing volunteering work here in the Midwest, and that's kind of where I got my footing as far as getting to know people and starting things and finding people these amazing talents. And somewhere along the way, I started getting more into social media last year, and then I started thinking there should exist like a live stream network. Some of the podcasts that I was listening to just kind of seemed like so obvious to me. There's all these great people out there creating great content, and we should be on one network together. And so I kind of threw the idea out there and met a few people. And one of the first people we pitched the idea to was Melissa, and she's amazing. Melissa, she got it, and she's it's funny that Carolyn and Laura with the ConnectHer conference, because my first thought about Melissa, she's like a super connector. She's never met a stranger, and she's so great at making friends and connecting other people who would, be good to know each other. And so we got together with our other partners, and we're starting this live stream network, and I'm really excited. We've been doing a lot of the behind the scenes work lately, and we're very excited when we can roll out our network. So that's me.
Well, hopefully we'll all meet at ConnectHer 2018, and we can bring the whole team, but I will be representing BubblrMedia there this year in Las Vegas. So tell us what you have planned and what you're excited about for this coming up conference. Laura?
Well, we can't tell you all the super fun secret things we have going on. We do have some special announcements, including announcement of the event for 2018 and all kinds of other fun stuff we have going on. But what I can tell you is that we have 2 VIP evening events this year. One is hosted by Giordano's Pizza. That's Friday night. And then Saturday night, Johnny Rockets is hosting another special VIP event for all of our guests. And so it's a really exciting time. We have 2 panels that definitely speak to just about everybody in the room. And I think we have over 40 to 50 sessions that are going on specifically to help women in business, influencers, brands, that whole connection of things.
That's so cool. And, I'm excited about attending the events with the sponsors. And I think it's really a rare opportunity to do that. They treat you so well. And then you end up being able to understand what it is that they want in order to help them to be able to be an ambassador, to be able to do work for them. And then, they treat you like, I don't know, just like you're part of their family and in their business. It's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Ever since I first did a media event for Johnny Rockets, every time I even go near Johnny Rockets, I will tweet something out, and they always retweet me. They always ask me how I enjoyed my meal or whatever. And I feel like I work for them, like I'm a part of their company. And so when I found out that they were going to be a sponsor, I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to that. That's going to be great, So I think it's neat that you bring those companies in get them involved. I can't wait to see all the other partners that you have. Carolyn, can you tell me a little bit about some of the other partners that are sponsoring the event?
Well, one of the things that we're known for in our conference, we like to keep it small. We're not a BubblrMedia. We're not, an affiliate summit or anything like that. And even though we're expanding this year to 3 days from one, we're still keeping that sort of small community feel. And with our sponsors, we really look for people and brands who want to connect with our influencers. We want them to get to know each other on a personal basis. We encourage everybody to follow them ahead of time, get to know them, get to know the reps, and so they can get to know the influencers who will be there. And most of the brands, their representatives who are coming are also doing roundtables. So you get a real opportunity to meet them on a personal level rather than just, online and okay, let's just tweet out a brand. And they're coming because they really want to meet us. So that's exciting. We have brands like Genexa's coming. Got Milk is really exciting. IASO Cosmetics will be there. There's FabFitFun, huge subscription box company. We're really excited, and they're excited to meet everybody too. It's a good opportunity for everybody all around.
Now, tell me, how did it start with the, what do you call that when you go in the room and you get everything from in your bag?
The swag suite.
The swag suite. How did that start? And tell me all about it. I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Laura.
Laura.
That's your brilliant idea.
Is it?
Yeah.
Everybody has swag. Everybody loves swag. You go home with a gift bag, but this is something unlike any. It's more like going on to like the Oscars, what you would expect when you go to a big event like that.
Yeah, for me, before, and you can appreciate this, Melissa, but I used to have a jewelry line before the conference, actually. Before the conference all started and everything, for about a year and a half. And so people would always ask me for items for like the goodie bags or what have you, and I found that didn't really yield a good return on investment for me. So when the conference rolled around, I could see things from a more of a brand perspective. And I didn't want to do that. It's very easy for me to put something in a bag and then just hand it out and be done. However, I came up with this other idea. And so this year, actually, it's called the Sangria and Swag, by the way.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Sangria and swag.
Yes. And so what happens is that I feel that there needs to be more of a connection. So if I, the brand, provide you a product, at least I get to meet you. You get to give me your media kit. We can, interact briefly. And people take the products that they feel that they need. If they do not need a product, then they don't take the product. But, most people love all the stuff we have. And so it's just it's just a better return on investment. So that's how I came up with that idea. And that has sort of grown. And now that's why we don't have an expo or anything. And for that specifically,
it's kind of like an expo/swag winner takes all.
yeah, it's definitely
meet the person. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's interactive and all of that, and that is kind of the key focus. And we do that as a perk. We're not big on just trying to get free stuff and give you free stuff. It's more of very specialized, handpicked, and it's kind of like a thank you for coming to our event.
Yeah, no. Well, you're very generous the sponsors are very generous with everything, and I'm still enjoying a lot of the gifts from last year. Can't believe it's already come up this year. I'm still using the markers and the, notepads and all kinds of fun things that you gave out last time. And, that doesn't go unnoticed. So those extra special touches are, I think, what makes it like a boutique conference. It's really special what you put into it. You put a lot of yourself into it. And I appreciate that. And I've gone to a lot of conferences, and usually it's the hotel that puts out those kinds of things, but you did your, branding on it, and it made it special. So I just wanted to say that. But I know that you're both mothers and that your inspiration for doing this type of work has to do with giving, putting an example out there about, showing your daughters that you could be successful mothers and successful in business too. What legacy do you want to leave for your children? What kind of things do you want them to take away from this when they see you put so much effort and so much work into this? Carolyn, do you want to speak on that first?
Well, number one, that hard work pays off, and that hard work can be fun too.
I like that.
Yeah, actually, one of my girls the other day said, they were talking to each other, and one of them said, I love Mom's job. She gets to travel, she gets things, she gets to try new things, and and she also gets to be home with us. And so that just warmed my heart, because that's exactly what I want to show them, that I'm home with them and I'm a hands-on parent, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I also work, and I work hard, and I put in the hours, and they get the benefits of that. So the fact that they're seeing that, and I have teenagers, my kids are a little bit older than Laura's daughter, so that's really why I do what I do. I also I want to add to the income of my family, but I also want to have fun doing it. So it's a good mix.
That's great, though. I love the part about having fun. Now, I know your background and your education was in interior design, and you worked really hard, before you had kids in that field. And now I think you bring a little bit of that into what you do, because you have such a good eye. But, what brought you to doing this work where you're helping other women? What is it about that?
I think it's because when I started blogging 8 years ago and I started getting into this, nobody was helping each other. It was all very, me. I'm not going to tell you my secrets. And after going to one of the large BubblrMedia conferences in San Diego, I decided, this is ridiculous. I mean, you meet so many amazing people, but nobody's supporting each other. Nobody's networking with each other. And so that's one of the reasons that I started SoCal Lady Bloggers with my co-founders. And that's what I love about working with Laura. We have the exact same mindset in terms of, and that's what I love about you too, Melissa. We all sort of are on the same wavelength. It's like, let's put it out there. Let's network with each other. Let's collaborate. Women helping women to succeed is really what it's all about.
And Laura, what was your background before you started this type of work?
I've always kind of been everywhere. Just kidding. My degree is actually in speech pathology, believe it or not.
Ooh, you may be able to help me right now.
So yes, and then I actually worked for LA County as a program auditor and kind of investigating people.
Ooh, don't help me with that right now.
I didn't know that.
So what brought you to this kind of work, and what inspired you to get into it?
Actually it was my daughter, right? Because they actually held my job for almost 2 years. And then I decided, I have to raise my own kid. Like, it took us actually, and I haven't really shared this publicly, but it took us 8 years to get pregnant maybe, and I had to do artificial insemination and all that kind of stuff. And so when I had her finally, and it was our last try, I thought, okay, so now I have her, I can go back to work, 7-8 hour days or whatever, or I can kind of cut our income in half and then raise my only kid, right? So that's why I one. And so that was kind of an inspiration. So, we're always the ones that work 80 hours for 40-hour pay. It's like, what? It's easier to go to work 40 hours, but it allows me to do it with her around, right? So if I need something or she needs something, it kind of allows us to do that. And I thought that was a good trade-off for us. So that's, where the inspiration comes. And recently, Maddie has seen me do this for 10 years, right? So she's 12 now, and she's not supposed to think Mom is cool, right? So she said to me, Mom, don't ever stop doing ConnectHer conference. I'm not supposed to say this, she said, but I really think it's cool, right? So you inspire a lot of people. And I'm like, okay, so it's super recent too. So that just kind of makes me feel like, okay, I'm in the right space. So very interesting.
That's amazing. And you've homeschooled her too, Maddie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Last 2 years. Went from
Okay.
Catholic school to homeschool. So
And that's because of her gymnastics.
it helps with gymnastics, but it's not the reason why. I think people think that that's why.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it was more of that she wanted to be more who she was versus what the school wanted the kids to be. If that makes sense. They're able to identify that like around 4th grade. So in the 4th, we pulled her, and so I managed that too.
That's incredible. It really is. Now, Jennifer's background is in finance as a CPA, right, Jennifer?
Yes, it's true.
How did you go from that type of a career to wanting to do this? And I just have to say, you know, I know we're just getting started, but I see that you're going to be extremely successful, and you have everything you need to be, you're well on your way to be a leader in this type of work and helping other people, and this particularly helping women, and, you know, certainly helping me to start a business. It was very exciting. So how is it that you're inspired to do that?
Well, so in some ways, my story is pretty similar. So I was a CPA, and I practiced that. And then when I had my first daughter, like when I left, I told them, well, I didn't know if I was going to, you know, I said I thought I'd come back to work. And it's kind of funny. I was working in this mill, like I was an accountant, and I had put a pack and play in my little room in the mill for 6 months. And they're like, what am I doing? Because they were like kind of family friendly. But I decided to start staying home. And then I had 2 more daughters really quickly. And then I have a son who was a couple years after that. So I have 3 daughters that are in their 20s. And so I stayed at home with my children, but I've always been really involved in the community. And like the things that I hear coming from like Carolyn and Laura are so similar, like wanting to like build community. And so like all the volunteering, I would end up leading a lot of things, was to build community. And like, you know, my goal is always like, if I was doing PTSO, that I wanted to find opportunities to bring people together. Because I always think it's so easy, and especially in this technological world, you know, you get an email from the school and people don't have the opportunity to get to know each other and see each other. So my focus has always been bringing people together. And I guess it kind of really tied into like my thought process about having a network where it should be people supporting each other. And I really love when I hear Laura and Carolyn say that too, because I really feel like that's a really strong goal of what we're doing, Melissa, is, and I know you feel the same, is like creating community and helping each other, you know, be their best self, and, you know, trying to like see how we can help each other, and by doing that, learning a lot on our own. So it's kind of an unusual path. And now when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm a CPA. So my thing was, I never told anyone I was a CPA, because I never wanted me to be the treasurer of a volunteer organization.
So I never tell anybody I'm an executive assistant, because then I end up being the secretary of things.
You know what happens? So you're taking notes, and I'm doing accounting.
Yeah, in our business, yes. Well,
shouldn't have told.
It's so true, but you know, it is a part of who we are. I want to own that. You know, it's good to hear what the background is, but the next thing I want to talk about is how our launching pad is. And this goes into some of the questions that I see we have in our comments that I want to address. So Carolyn has a blog called This Talk Ain't Cheap. And she covers a lot of fantastic lifestyle content. And over the years has talked about a lot of different subjects, especially parenting and wonderful subjects. I'm sorry, I keep using the same word, but she could tell you a little bit more about it. And Laura has a number of blogs, I think, but the one that I'm most familiar with is her Family Vacation Hub, because I've actually guest posted on that one. And then, so very connected with families and other people. And then, of course, my blog is Ms. Meliz. It's a lifestyles blog, and I try to incorporate reviews and Hollywood stories with real people and their life stories. And then, you know, so Jennifer has a show called Fearless Gray, where she talks about and incorporates her stories, life stories, and topical events going on in her life with what it's like to have a fearless adventure in going into being over 50. So I really, love hearing her story. So what we're doing with BubblrMedia is kind of carrying that vlog over into live streaming shows. So we have some questions on the side. How can I get bloggers to support my show? Which is from Cheryl Ames, who is a writer and has a program that's going to be on BubblrMedia called Fight for the Family. It's a web series she writes, and it's acted and produced, and it's going to be on BubblrMedia. So it's not a live show, but she wants to get bloggers to support that. So any suggestions from our experts here, Carolyn and Laura? How would you get bloggers to support a web series that's on Facebook?
Carolyn's the expert.
I would say start with individual topics. What specifically is she talking about? Instead of taking a whole show and saying, here, I want you to promote my whole show, take one topic that might resonate with a certain group of people and reach out and let them know. Say, hey, I'm doing this show next week, and this is the topic. I'd love for you to listen in. I'd love for you to be a part of it. Do you have any questions that you want that maybe I can ask or I can answer? And do it sort of that way. Break it up into smaller chunks rather than, hey, I have this big show, here, write about me, or, promote it.
That's a
Get them involved in it.
That's a really, really great tip. I think that works for any of us, where, I'm talking about conferences. So naturally, I put out a blog post about, how to get ready for a conference, or, that kind of thing, and try to tap into other people who are interested in going to conferences. And so that's a really good idea. That's a great suggestion. I hate to say that we only have a couple more minutes. So if there's any other questions, and here's one: what are your favorite blogs? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, my favorite blog's MsMeliz.com. How about you? But no, if you have any favorite blogs, please let me know. Do you have one, Laura?
I don't have any favorite ones.
I know.
Like, I would see them all the time. Although, you know what? I love Romy Raves.
Oh yeah.
She's been along for a long time, for sure.
Romy is awesome, and it's a little side story. I ran into Romy at ConnectHer last year, and we kind of had this connection. Like, how do I know you? I know you from somewhere. And we ended up, we knew, like, I used to work with her mom. So, I know people keep saying I know everybody, but yeah, I guess I know everybody. It was really awesome. So I think I wish I had more time to look at blogs, but I'm loving the video. And before we get going, I do want to thank you both and ask you, what your hope is with bringing video to ConnectHer, because I'm going to be speaking about video on the panel, and I know that was something that you wanted to have, was to talk about how we could use video more in becoming more successful in our business and incorporating that in our business. So what are your hopes for that? Carolyn?
Well, I think videos, and you would know this better than anybody, video has changed so much over the last few years, and it's one of those things that we all know we sort of need to transition to video more, but there's a lot of people out there who are scared of it. It's kind of frightening to be out there. Blogging has always been very safe and behind closed doors, and that's why people enjoyed it. They could sort of just, write about whatever they wanted. They didn't have to verbally say the words. And now with video, they actually have to come front and center. And so with the conference this year, we decided we really wanted to have a specific panel geared towards video, which you will be on. I'm very excited. Just so you guys, as the experts, can share with us, what do we need to be doing? How can we best use video in what we do? So it's so important, I think.
Laura, did you have any question about video that you'd like to see answered or hear?
Yeah, no questions. Just a comment in I think one of the big reasons why people don't use video also is because they hate to see themselves on camera. That's like probably the number one thing. I'm here staring at myself going like, I'm just being honest. But we did start doing video and stuff. And I think that the tip that I have for people is just kind of do it. I mean, obviously don't come out in your pajamas, right? But you know, it's okay. Like just kind of do it and talk. And I think it becomes more authentic also.
Well, I know me some bloggers, and I know what they like, and I know that they like to see their numbers go up. And I'll tell you right now, if you use video, your numbers are going to go up. And the analytics, right, especially with Twitter even right now, if you use, there's a beta on video for video in analytics on Twitter. And if you check that out, and if you just start using some video replies, you will see your numbers are going to shoot up. And if you're using video, live video on Facebook, that's going to get pushed ahead. And so you're going to get a lot more views. And so I'll be talking about that at ConnectHer. And you'll see that BubblrMedia is using a lot more video on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. And the engagement is really increasing at a faster rate than with just text. So even though not all of us are loving being in front of the camera, and some of us are having some technical issues with their face at the moment, we're still going to do it. Because you know what? It's not about what your face looks like, it's how you use it. So with that, I just want to thank everybody and say, you know, thank you so much for being here. We're out of time, but I just really appreciate you being here. If you want to find Carolyn West, check her out at This Talk Ain't Cheap, and also at ConnectHer Media, which you can also find Laura Filipiwicz. And at Jennifer Sloan, you can find her at Fearless Gray, and myself at MsMeliz.com. And of course, we can all check in and find us at BubblrMedia. And please take a moment and like BubblrMedia. I cannot say Bubbler very well right now, sorry. But I'm going to hand it over to Cindy so she can wrap it up for me. And again, thank you everybody for being here. If any final words?
No, thank you so much for having us and letting us share a little bit about the conference.
I want to wish you both good luck. Have a great time with your extended days on your conferences.
Thank you.
I can't wait to meet you in person next year when I will be there.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you in Las Vegas, and we'll see you at the Bubbler. Cindy, want to take me out?
So thank you all for joining us tonight for Inspiring Adventures with Ms. Meliz and her guests, Carolyn West and Laura Filipiwicz, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from ConnectHer. And if you get a chance to join them at ConnectHer, it sounds like it's going to be an awesome time. I wish I was on the West Coast because I would definitely be signing up. So until next time, have a wonderful week and see you in the Bubbler or at the Bubbler.